Kentucky Afield. Every week, Kentucky Afield brings you features on hunting and fishing across the state.
What a nice fish.
It's an opportunity to hopefully get that bird in the lake.
Hey, we got another one over here.
There he is. Ooh, a nice one too. Boy, he's healthy.
What do we got? That was awesome. Got the first belt.
Barely made it out of the field.
Got one big smallmouth.
Very nice.
Double point, they're in there. There they go.
Look at that joker. Woo!
That's a good one there.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Whoa, this is a good one.
That's better than good, Chad.
Hello and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. This week, we're going to head out to Taylorsville Lake in search of a limit of wintertime crappie. Then we're going to check in with biologists and see how the lake sturgeon are faring. But first, we're headed out to Henry County for a predator hunt. Well, Chuck, we're out here in Henry County. This is your deer hunting farm, your turkey hunting farm, your rabbit hunting farm.
That's it.
Today it's a little different though.
Yeah, gonna be a little coyote hunting farm.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of predator hunting, primarily focusing on coyotes.
Yep.
It's a cold morning, got a layer of snow on the ground. Mm-hmm. This is an opportunity for us to get out and hopefully, if we present an early meal, easy meal, maybe we can get a coyote to come in.
I hope so. Like I said, it's been cold now for going on almost 2 weeks straight and still got a lot of snow on the ground, so hopefully they're ready to eat.
I tell you what, we probably got about 25 minutes till light. You want to move to the very, very back side of the farm, right?
Yeah, let's start there and then work our way back to the front of the farm.
It should be good. The sound's gonna be going. Okay. We should have it in our face the whole time we're going in there. And once you get down there, how far do you think we'll be able to see, like, for shooting lanes? It's gonna be kind of tight, but as clear as it is with snow, we may be able to get, get a good window, get a little further. Close. It's a big coyote. last year, I called in a double, a male and a female.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
That was, you talking about close encounters, you know. When we came back here in the woods, this is not like most coyote sets that I do.
Yeah.
In the sense that I'm usually set up in a spot that I can shoot 300 yards if needed. This is tight quarters. That first shot, that was an archery style shot. That was 35 yards.
Man, you can see the blood trail in the snow from that female.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she was pumping blood. I'm surprised she went that far.
Yeah.
But I had to shoot through a little bit of brush, so I might not hit her as good as I wanted to, but I can see her laying down there.
Yeah, I can see her there too. So, man, that was great. You put us right here on them. Like I said, I will tell you this. You heard the second one, and you actually made a motion to cut the volume, and you were like, kill that sound. I hear something running through the snow.
Yeah.
So when I hit that mute button, that coyote was 60 yards or closer.
Yeah, I heard it, but I couldn't tell if it was on the same hillside that male came in or if it was on this hillside we're sitting on. That's why I said cut it, because I wanted, you know.
And she was right here as well, right on top of us. Man, you made 2 good shots. Let's round our stuff up and get moving. Wow.
I think it went that way. It's over there somewhere.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chuck, this was a perfect switch up to sitting in a deer stand.
Yeah, for sure.
This was absolutely great. And you know, I know that you've had a lot of coyotes on this piece of property.
Yep.
You've been actively trying to manage them.
Yeah.
This is you know, we had this snow January, right before the breeding season. What a perfect opportunity to get out here and to hunt these things.
Conditions were perfect, you know. We've had this snow on the ground for over a week now. Really cold weather, you know they're hungry, and I think in these situations we're in right now, I think it's a perfect time to call one in.
Well, couldn't have worked out any better. We called it a double, and neither shot had to be more than 50 yards. What a great morning. It was a lot of fun. Let's go get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, let's do that. It's definitely coffee weather.
Over the last several years, Taylorsville Lake has been putting out impressive numbers of crappie, and I would say that the wintertime may be the best time to catch them. We're out here on Taylorsville Lake. You know, we got 2 or 3 days of warm weather. That means it's time to do what? What are we doing today, Brian?
Crappie fishing, Chad.
Crappie fishing. I mean, Taylorsville Lake is known to have huge numbers of crappie. You guys do a lot of fishing together on the bass side, but crappie fishing is something you enjoy as well.
Yeah, I spend all winter long up here crappie fishing. That's my go-to in the winter when we're not bass fishing. These fish are shallow all winter.
Yeah.
I mean, water temperatures can be in the low to mid-30s, and you can still catch them shallow.
Well, I asked Jared, I said, hey, I want to go up and catch a couple of crappie up at Taylorsville Lake. And he goes, well, I got your guy. And he goes, if I had to lay a bet on somebody run up there and catching quality crappie in a short amount of time, it'd be you. So we'll see how it works out.
Thanks, Jared.
No pressure. No pressure. Well, you're the boat captain today. I understand you're the guide. You're the guy who knows where the fish are at. Let's go get them.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Brian, with this wind, do you want to try to pick it up out here, then work in, or just
No.
pick it up on the timber here?
Yep.
All right. There we go, guys.
What you got? Well, you may have your first keeper crappie on there, right there.
This one's a little light, 9.5 inches.
Uh-oh, another one on.
That's not a keeper.
I got a bluegill here. You know, everything's in here feeding on these minnows. Get a crappie?
Yeah. I don't think he'll keep.
You got him.
Another little one.
Both you guys got crappie.
I'll tell you what, the crappie are breeding at Taylorsville.
What do we got here? Right species, wrong size.
1/32 ounce jig heads, and then just a tube jig, black and chartreuse. There you go. I like to crappie fish the way I bass fish. These crappie, you know, they'll get up on the mud just like a bass will. They're eating shad, just like a bass does. And this is fun.
I'll tell you what, this is very typical for Taylorsville Lake fishing. You know, you get out here, cover a lot of water, catch a bunch of fish. You know what, when these fish get up there to where they make that 10-inch limit, people will be taking them home, but the number of fish in here to catch, available to be caught, tremendous. Crappie fishing is really, truly one of those things that you just need to fish them however you feel most comfortable, because you can catch fish. The simple fact is you put a bait in front of them and crappie's feeding, they're probably gonna eat it, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're gonna eat.
Finding the right kind of fish that are feeding, that's where the trick comes in. These crappie that are 7 to 9 inches long, millions of them, aren't there?
Yes, thousands.
You feel some of them, but a lot of them are just knocking a little bit of slack in the line. See a little loop get knocked up in your line and you know, hey, better be ready. There we go, guys. Uh-oh, we got us a large now.
Wrong species.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, the bass are biting too. If we can't get the crappie to go over 10 inches, we'll try a bass. That was our first over 10. Hi, Brian, we're about out of water, my friend. Keep going, or?
You wanna go out there and see if we can't get on that deadhead?
Yeah. So when we say deadhead, what we mean is basically what we got right here in the water. An old tree, there's the root wad, and it's out there submerged where you can't see it, but the fish still love it. Any cover will hold them.
That might keep.
Might keep, we'll go check him. We'll see. Hey guys, we can go home now.
We'll have to have fish flavored broth.
It's an eater. Get him up here.
By George, he'll eat.
Got him. A pretty good fish.
I don't know if it'll keep or not. We'll check it just to be sure. Oh yeah, he's 10.5 inches.
Right there's one.
Got him.
Got him. Come here. Double.
Bringing them in 2 at a time.
All right. Welcome to Taylorsville, right?
Home of the white crappie.
Yours is close, Chad.
When you say close, he's literally 10 inches and a 16th or an 1/8.
Chad, Jared.
Brian, your turn.
Not frying pan worthy.
There you go. That's a good one there.
This should be an eater, but we'll measure him. He's 10. Jared's got one. Good one.
Yeah,
Real good one.
a nice one. That is what they call a fish sandwich.
You got it? You hung up.
I got it.
Oh, you got a good one?
It's a giant.
Eater. That's a good one. You ain't got to
keep-
measure him.
That's a good Taylorsville crappie
There
there.
you go. We'll take it. Had to catch 30 to get here, but hey, I'll take that too. We may fill a skillet after all. Got him.
Choke that jig. Oh
That one
yeah,
there is
Wow,
taking line.
that's a big one there now.
that's a tournament fish right there, boys.
That's a tournament fish there, Brian.
It's a good one. Here we go. Oh, what we got here? Is this a crappie?
Dog eye or
That's a
What we
crappie.
got here? Wow.
That's a good crappie.
Look
then.
at that now. That's a good fish right there. Tell you what, we caught so many fish today. I mean, I don't know how many caught. We may have caught 50 or 60. It did take till right toward the end to start catching something like this. Brian, that fish you caught was 13 inches or better, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good one. You know what, guys? There's no reason for cabin fever when you can get out here catching crappie like this. Doesn't get any better. Now, let's go jump in a boat on the Cumberland River and check in with some biologists on how the lake sturgeon are doing. Well, the Cumberland River in the middle of the wintertime, I tell you what, it doesn't get any more stunningly beautiful than this, does it?
It's certainly beautiful down here. It's a great place to be.
Today we're doing something that I've never experienced before. We're actually in search of what is going to be the state's largest fish.
You know, for a number of years now, we've been stocking lake sturgeon into this system. And we've got fish that are up above 20 plus pounds and approaching 50 to 60 inches if we're able to get some of our older fish today.
Lake sturgeon, we've been reintroducing them back here in Kentucky now since, what, 2007?
2007 is our first year class. The first stocking went in 2008. So we're committed to a 20-year restocking effort. So we're getting close to the end of that stocking frame right now. And so far, we've seen pretty good survival.
20 years is a long study, but that's what it takes to learn a little bit about lake sturgeon. And we're going to learn a little more about lake sturgeon today. You're going to pull some data. Hopefully we catch some. And we're going to learn a little more about why we're reintroducing them here in Kentucky.
All right, let's get to this first line here and see what we got on there.
It's not like most fishing. We wait till we have a fish to put water in a live well. With 400 hooks, we feel pretty confident we're going to have one, huh?
Yeah, these lines are set kind of with the current. Helps us avoid some tangles. Also, lake sturgeon tend to feed as they go up the river. So they'll eat benthic macroinvertebrates, things like that when they're younger. They'll continue to eat that throughout their life cycle, even large, 30 plus pound fish. However, once they get big enough, the gape size in their mouth, how wide their mouth is, will become large enough that they can start preying on smaller fish species as well.
So today you're using all night crawlers though, right?
Today we're using all night crawlers. It helps keep things standardized in terms of the data.
I have to ask you, why this location? Why here this time of year to try to catch them? We are kind of looking at their migration patterns. It's part of the study, so there are some telemetry studies going on right now.
Yeah, an earlier portion of the study was telemetry. We've wrapped that up and we've moved on to a monitoring stage to see how these fish are surviving, growing, just kind of how our stocking efforts are, whether they're being successful or not.
All right, well good. Let's see what we have. Hey, with night crawlers, who knows what you may have?
You never know.
About every fish I know will eat a night crawler, right?
Absolutely.
And a mud puppy. I already seen that joker.
Yeah, occasionally we do catch them. Sometimes we have lines with several on them. For the most part, they're eating night crawlers as well, so we'll catch them and we'll take the hooks out of them and release them, and most of the time they swim off just fine. We've caught them every year that we've been doing this. You might catch 20 plus on a line.
Now, people need to realize that there's a difference in a mud puppy and another big species of salamander we have here in Kentucky that we're actually trying to reintroduce, and that's a hellbender. These are not hellbenders, these are mud puppies, right?
Right, typically they're gonna inhabit different types of areas. Hellbenders are gonna be more in your highland streams often. These mud puppies are not getting anywhere near to the size that hellbenders are at maturity either.
Yeah. Look at there, channel cat.
Channel cat, Matt.
And typical for a channel cat that's been on a line, he's got that thing twisted and curled as many times as it can. So you can see they're pulling these hooks. Now they're gonna rebait and put these back out to pull more samples tomorrow, but you can see how they're managing these. If you've ever pulled trot lines, you've probably seen this is a box that just has some cuts in it, and they'll pull each one of these individual hooks and they'll spin that box around, and that helps them manage and keep the line from being tangled. Now when they go to put it out, they'll go in reverse, they'll pull them up and bait them, back up and pull the line right on out and put it back on the bottom.
Channel cat, Matt, just popped off. Quick release.
Actually getting a quick release speeds up the process today, so that's a good thing.
Yes, it does. We got 2 red spotted newts here that we also got that actually weren't even on the hook. They had just wrapped around the dropper. Oh, we got a lake sturgeon. I'm gonna need to reach back and get that net right there.
There we go. Wrapped up in there. There you go. Well, there's our first lake sturgeon. Now this is, it's a little bit younger fish. What do you think, best guess, what do you think this is, a 2-year-old fish?
That's probably a 3-year-old fish right there.
Fish? Okay. So, and you guys are gonna check this thing to figure out how old you think it is, get some measurements. What other data will you be getting today?
Right, so we're gonna take total length, fork length, which is essentially to the fork of the tail. They've got what they call a heterocircle tail, so that top half of the tail can be a little bit longer. So sometimes fork length is a little more indicative of growth. We'll also be weighing these fish and putting a tag in them so that if we recapture them, we can kind of follow them as far as when we caught them, how large they were at that point in time. Got that line pulled in, we're gonna head on down to our next one and see what we've got on that one. We got sturgeon about to surface. Sturgeon about to surface.
Awesome. There we go. Oh, that's a good one.
All right, so we're just checking for a pit tag here. And this one does not appear to be tagged. Looks like a right 7/8 on the scoot removal.
Fork length 21.0, total length 24.1. Total weight 214.
All right, so we're gonna be putting this pit tag into this fish now, and that'll allow us to track it if we recapture it. And just to make sure that it's in. And we've got it in that fish successfully.
So this is a nice example of a lake sturgeon. You know, you've got the 3 rows of bony plates, the dermal plates that cover the skin, and these plates are large and really sharp with sharp keels when the fish is young. They tend to get smaller as the fish grows and the keels become more blunt. The interesting part of the sturgeon around the head and the snout or rostrum is they've got a lot of sensory cells, especially on the underside of the head. These are called barbels, which are just fleshy tentacles that hang from the snout, and they are covered with taste buds, and they use these, they drag them along the bottom in search of food, and they'll actually suck in the sediment like silt and mud and screen out the insect larvae. They extrude the mud and sediment out the gills, so that's how they feed. Their vision is not super poor, but they don't have highly developed vision. They feed by taste, and they rely heavily on their sense of smell. It has a cartilage skeleton. They are the most primitive or ancestral of the bony fishes. And so essentially they're living fossils and haven't really changed much since prehistoric times.
The cool thing is about these fish is that they are very long-lived fish. The bad thing is, for on a restoration side, that this fish, if it's a male or a female, may not be able to produce offspring for how long?
If it's a female, they don't reach sexual maturity until they're 20 to 25 years old. So the males are a little bit sooner, 15 to 20 years. This fish has several more years. If it's a female, more than that before it's sexually mature. When they do reach maturity, they only spawn on average every 4 years. So you've got a low reproductive potential, slow maturity. All these things are what make them so vulnerable to overharvest. If you catch one, we ask that you return the fish back to the water, but we would also like to have information on your capture date, a photograph of the fish, the location, and any other information like the bait that was used, the depth where you caught the fish. All of this helps us with our monitoring efforts.
We got another one coming up.
Oh, a real good one. So this project will go on for the rest of the month, trying to get a bunch of individuals and collect all that data to help you guys manage this species.
Yeah, we'll be continuing to set trout lines at a few different sites here and on the main stem of the Cumberland for years to come.
And it's very cool to get to see a fish that most of us people out here that are outdoorsmen, we don't get to see that. So thanks for bringing us along today.
Yeah, no problem, Chad.
Very interesting work. Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Check out this beautiful largemouth bass that was caught by 10-year-old Wyatt Ezell. Nice fish. Harvey Carter knows how to spend his birthday, and that's rabbit hunting in central Kentucky with a few buddies. Nice job. Here we have Hazley with a hybrid bass that was caught on Lake Harrington. Nice job. Daniel Watkins caught this nice muskie while fishing on the middle fork of the Kentucky River. Nice fish. February is now here. You know what that means? It's time to renew your hunting and fishing license. You can do that at a local retailer or go to fw.ky.gov. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.